Hey, my name's James Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I've got a breakdown on the regions that rents are rising fastest. In fact, there's one area where just this year, rents are up 32%, which is absolutely bonkers. I've got a breakdown on what's happening in London and the rest of the country as well, and what I expect to happen in the next 12 months with rents, because I don't think it's good news for tenants. Now, if you're new around here and you haven't done before, do make sure you subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We've just hit 50,000 subscribers. And by subscribing, you'll get all the latest house price news, interest rate news, property investing tips, and much, much more. And if you can help me get some more views on the video, this part is simple. All you need to do is smash like, tick or like, do something to the like button. That helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that really has helped the channel grow. So thanks to everyone that does that. So rents, they are out of control at the moment. And one of the biggest problems is that the private rental sector hasn't grown since 2016. In fact, it's shrunk back to its 2016 size. And that's because a lot of landlords have been leaving the market. Around 30% of landlords have already quit, and 50% of landlords surveyed, according to the HMRC, are considering leaving the market. In fact, just last week, in Parliament, or the government have been discussing the EPC rules. What should they be doing to those? Do they actually follow through and make landlords get an EPC of level C by 2028? Or do they delay it, or do they tone it back? And there's an argument between Labour saying it's just not going to work because even more landlords are going to quit, and that's going to shrink the market even more. Then you've got the Renters' Rights Bill that's making landlords quit. That's going to be law by the end of this year. And so there's a possibility that the rental sector could be even smaller than 2016 by next year. And in that time, we've got record immigration coming in. We've got people living longer. We've got people just wanting to rent or needing to rent due to relationships and stuff like that. It's not really a great situation that we're in right now. And I think rents are going to continue to rise at a very, very fast pace. So rents this month have now hit record highs. And in London, it's crazy how high rents are. Let's look at London first. Obviously, it's the most expensive place in the country. But the average, this is the average, which is crazy. The average rent in London now is £2,736. Now, that is up on an annual basis of 1.6%. So, that's actually better because it's, in real terms, down. In real terms, it's down because inflation has been higher than that 1.6%. Most people should have had a pay rise of higher than 1.6% as well. So in real terms, it's actually been going down in London, but it's still going up. It is going up, and it's really, really unaffordable. In fact, a lot of people have been leaving London and going into the suburbs and commuting into London just to save that huge rental burden that is there. So what about the rest of the country? Well, the average for the rest of the country is £1,385, and that on an annual basis is up 3.1%, which is probably just a smidge above what the inflation average has been. So yeah, that's going in the wrong direction, isn't it? And that's making affordability really, really hard. But there are lots of other places that aren't looking great either. And so there's these random places. There's a place called Fulwood, which is in Lancashire. And in Fulwood, average rents are up 32.9% in 1 year. If you know why that is, comment below and let us know. Something must have happened there. Maybe a major government contract and there's lots of good jobs there or something like that. But that's crazy. There's another place up north, which is called Keighley. Probably pronouncing that wrong. Keighley. But rents there, however you pronounce it, are up 27%. That's crazy. Now, on average, rents, the 3.1% increase that we've seen this year, that's the slowest increase that we've had since 2020. So positive, you might think. But since 2020, rents have been on an absolute tear. It's really gone crazy because a lot of people have moved out of London. So London rental growth has slowed, but it's still way too high. And people just need properties because there isn't enough. The population's growing, the demand's there, but there isn't enough properties. Now, why do I think this is going to get worse? Well, I think this is going to get worse because next year, I suspect that the private rental sector could shrink drastically. And the reasons for that is two major reasons for that. First is the Renters' Rights Bill. So the Renters' Rights Bill is going to be live in the next few weeks. Most likely it's going to go for royal assent. And then next year, probably from about April, you'll have things like Section 21 will be banned. Rolling tenancies will start straight away. And then they'll start implementing the rest of that bill quite quickly. Some of the things I think will take a few years, but some of it will happen quite quickly. Even so, just the fact that we're very close to this going to royal assent and becoming law, just my channel, I've had hundreds of landlords, look at the videos, look at the comments, you can see them there yourself, hundreds of landlords that are saying they're going to now issue Section 21. So I think there's going to be a ton of no-fault evictions happening just before Christmas, unfortunately, for those tenants. And that is going to be an absolute nightmare because those properties will then go for sale. Those people will have nowhere to go. The councils are struggling. Social housing lists are really high. Homelessness is increasing 8% this year. And so this is going to be a problem because the rental market will shrink. Then rent prices will go up. That's what I predict. I think rents will go up. I predict next year that you'll see between 5 and 10% increase on rents on average. So that's going to be higher than this year, and that's on top of what's already happened since 2020. So it's not going to be great. Now, how much rent do people pay, and is it worse? Let's look at that number. So out of people's take-home pay, it's now 44% of their take-home pay that they're spending on their rent. That's up from 40% in 2020. So it's getting worse. And you think people will be spending more of their take-home pay on food, on energy, on other costs. And we're going to get clobbered in the budget next month. So this is a crisis. The solution is to build more properties, to support landlords. The one place that I think is doing this really well is Liverpool. I did a video on Liverpool and they are helping landlords. They're giving them grants to fix up properties that aren't currently let as social properties. And they can give you a grant of up to 10 grand. You can do quite a lot. You could do a kitchen, a bathrooms, carpets, some decorating with 10 grand quite easily. And then you give the council the property and get a guaranteed rent for 5 years. That's improving the situation in those areas. That's taking people out of temporary accommodation, which is very, very expensive. So yeah, if you're a tenant, make sure you build a relationship with your landlord. If you're a landlord, make sure you're fair to your tenants as well. It's not a great situation at the moment, and it is going to get worse, I believe, next year. I'd like to know what you think about that. And last thing before you go, we're launching something very special this week. And I'd like to ask you to join just a VIP waiting list. There's no cost involved in this. It means that you will get first notification of a brand new, really, really detailed, in-depth training. I'm talking thousands of training videos here that will teach you all of the latest property strategies. We're going to be launching it in the next few weeks. and you can get in the VIP waiting list for free, and you'll get all the information as it launches. You'll get the first opportunity to enroll if you want to, but by joining the list, you're not committed in any way by doing that. So it's going to be in the first comment. It's going to be in the description. Join the VIP list and find out all about it as soon as it launches in the next few weeks. Do subscribe to the channel if you didn't earlier, and check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.